Hi there, I'm Rabiben. Now, I'll be sharing several face recipes for Warframe operators. By copying the settings shown here, you can recreate similar looks. Even for drifters, using the same settings and colors can make them look like grown-up versions of operator. Of course, this video is full of spoilers, so please be aware. First, when editing an operator's or drifter's appearance, be sure to take and save a screenshot beforehand. Warframe does not have feature to store facial data separately within the game. Changing the values for head and body, eyes, eyebrow, or voices under the Features tab means there is no way to undo it, except by recreating the exact settings. Always take screenshot before editing these options. Other customizations like suit, hairstyle, and hair color can be saved separately. Refer to this video as a guide to carefully shape the key facial features first, then adjust outfits and hairstyles afterward. That's all for the precautions. Now I'll share how to create a female operator's face without using plugin. I'll use only the first row of colors from the classic palette. Let's start by defining the face shape. Blend the Visage 96 and Visage 49. Set the mixing value to 0.72. If the order of visage is reversed, the impression changes entirely, so please follow the order. Next, for skin texture, choose Complexion M2. And for the colors, I'll use a natural toned color palette, usable from the start. Here, I choose the third from the right and the ninth from the top color. The vibrancy is 0.66. Next, let's choose the eye color. Generally, choosing the color for the left eye determines the color for the opposite eye. If you want odd-colored eyes, the color will be mixed with the third row. So you need to be careful with color adjustments. When you want to make odd eyes easier, try lowering this value. This time, I'll use 4 colors, but 3 of them will be the 6th color from the top in Classic. Use the 5th color from the top in just one section to create the eye gradient. If you have any other color preference, let's try them out. Next up are eyebrows. Choosing the default style with a thickness of 0.5 should be fine. The hairstyle will be a bob blonde cut. This hairstyle is available from the start, but the accent color is a little too strong. Using the third gray from the bottom in the classic palette should blend in nicely. Finally, let's adjust the makeup colors. Change the colors for the first 3 colors in the Balka look type. In makeup, you can precisely adjust the transparency of colors. The first color is set to 0.8, the next is 1, and the third is set to 0.19. Now, let's see which color to use. The first color determines the lip color, so use the red as the top of the color palette. The second color changes the shade around the eyes. Select the fourth lightest brown from the bottom, ensuring it blends seamlessly. The third color determines the color for the eyelid. Select the sixth orange from the bottom and smooth it onto the face. For the final accent, leave it as the default color without selecting a color. Press the round arrow to reset the color to its default. Here you can change the color of the eyeliner around the eyes. However, since dark colors cannot be used in the original classic, so it's best to preserve the original black tones as they are. Now, the recipe is complete. Since the result is somewhat neutral, you can easily switch the body type in Features to create a handsome male operator. Next, I'll share a recipe for my favorite operator. The face shape, skin tone, and vibrancy are the same as the previous recipe, but I think the impression has changed. Now, let's look at the specific recipe. First, the eye color. The color palettes used were Eminence, Smoke, and Valkyrie Aeroon. For the left eye color, use the 6th row from the bottom and the second color from the left in the Eminence palette. Next, for the 2 colors on the right, both use the 8th color from the top on the right side of the Valkyrie Aeroon. Then, for the left color in the eye color, use the black in the lower right of Smoke. The glow strength will be set to 25. It's good to let their eyes sparkle a little. Next are eyebrows. Using the default ones and set the thickness to 0.71 to make them moderately dark. the color will still be the one in the lower right corner of smoke. The hairstyle will bob short and the color will remain the default. This hairstyle doesn't interfere with the operator's suit, so I highly recommend it. Now, let's take a look at the makeup colors at last. The makeup is Balka look, just like before. The color palettes used were Valentine, Twilight, and Smoke. The color and transparency are different from the previous recipe, so let's take a closer look. Transparency is 0.21 at the first, 0.45 at the second, 0.63 at the third, and 0.86 at the last. Now let's see which color to use. The first color uses a color as the ninth from the bottom, far right of Valentine. It should be possible to recreate a natural pink tone. The next color will also in Valentine's palette. Use the second brown from the bottom and the second from the right. Next, let's use the third color from Twilight. Use the second brown one from the top in the middle. The brown in Valentine's color is slightly different in shades. Finally, use a black from the fifth row and second from the right in the smoke palette. Using black that's too dark can make eyes seem too sharp, so it might be better to use a lighter black. Now, my usual favorite operator face recipe is complete. Let's see what I used. First, let's get Eminence and Valentine palette without using Platinum. Eminence can be bought with ducats, and Valentine is available for a single credit during the limited time period. Next, let's use Platinum to buy what we need. Bob Short requires 25 Platinum, Twilight requires 75 Platinum, Smoke also requires 75 Platinum, and Valkyrie Heirloom requires 80 Platinum. To get a full set, it will cost 255 Platinum. Let's steadily earn Platinum and try to recreate it. Next up, I've created a few recipes for male operator faces based on viewers' requests. First up is a recipe for a sharp, powerful looking male operator. The color palette used is Valentine only, available for a limited time with credits. Blend the face shapes Visage 41 and 20 at 0.41. Set the skin textures to Complexion M2 as before. For the skin tone, use the color from the fifth row from the bottom, third from the left, in the natural tone palette. Set the vibrancy to 0.21. By deepening the color, it adds a touch of male appeal. Change the eye color in only 2 spots and make sure they won't glow. For the darker color, use a brown at the second row from the bottom and the second from the left. For the light pink color, use the 6th from the top in the middle. For the hairstyle, use a short left flip available from the first. The first color should be red from the second left in the top row. The second color should be brown, second from the bottom and the second from the right. For the third color, use a pink one that's 8th from the bottom and the second from the right to add variation. For the fourth color, use a brown directly above the bottom right one. The final color will be the brown next to the one on the bottom right. Set eyebrow thickness to 0.68 using V95. Use a brown that are nearly black, just above the one in the lower left. Finally, select None when choosing makeup. That's it. Next up is a recipe for an operator that retains the innocence of boy. First, let's shape the face. Mix Visage 47 and 74 in a 0.21 ratio. For skin texture, use Complexion M2 here as well. For skin color, choose a brighter color, 7th from the bottom and the 3rd from the right. Setting the vibrancy to 1 will create a pale white impression. Next, let's decide the eye color. The color palettes used are Eminence and Smoke. The black color for the left eye is the bottom right color of the Smoke palette. The blue used in 2 places is the top right blue from the Eminence color palette. The other blue-purple is the 7th color from the bottom and the second from the left. For the hairstyle, I will use the bob side part available from the start. For the hair color, I use only the white from the top right of the Smoke color palette. Let's aim for a gentle impression with eyebrows set to L03. For the color, use the dark shade 1 tones above the bottom left color in Valentine. Let's finish up with the makeup. Select the vertical look and set the transparency of the second and third colors as low as possible. The first color should be from the top row, second from the left. It should give you a nice lip color. For the second color, choose the fourth from the bottom, in the middle section of the smoke color palette. Make it nearly transparent, but a dark color is recommended. The third color will be the second from the bottom, in the middle of the Valentine palette. The fourth color will be second from the bottom and far left in the Valentine palette, a dark brown. This darkens the eye area, making the eyes stand out. Now the boyish look is complete. Smoke costs 75 platinum, but you can use Valentine's dark color as a replacement, so I think it's easy to recreate. If you pay attention to hairstyle, it's possible to become an operator who looks like the so-called otokonoko, a boy looks like girls. Please try out lots of different hairstyles. Finally, let's look at the recipe for a handsome male operator. First, blend the shapes Visage 95 and 47 at the rate of 0.64. Mixing Visage 47 allows you to soften the appearance of strong facial features. For skin textures, choose L77, and for skin tone, select the 6th from the top and the second from the right in the natural tone palette. Since the base skin color is dark, I'll set the color vibrancy to maximum. Next, let's decide eye color. I'll use one light color and one dark color. Both colors come from the Kichier color palette available to buy from Barketeer. For the light color, I'll use the top right color. For the dark color, I'll use the fourth color from the top on the right. Use these two colors and add some shine to the eyes. Changing your skin tones and texture will suit different colors. Next, change the impression with your eyebrows. Use U4V and set the thickness to maximum. Choose the darkest color from the second row from the bottom on the left in the Valentine palette. This eyebrow will give you a strong, confident look. For the hairstyle, choosing bob short at 25 platinum should work well. The color remains default. This hairstyle should reveal the forehead moderately without hiding the face, creating a nice look. Finally, adjust the makeup. Select the Bavana look for make. Then, lower the transparency of the second and fourth colors as much as possible. On the other hand, raise the third color to its maximum and raise the first color moderately. Now, let's look at the colors. The first color is in the top row of Valentine, second from the left. This gives lips soft, natural red tone. The second color is fourth from the bottom, the middle black in smoke. The third is brown, just below the top right, in twilight. Since it's brown, Valentine could work as a replacement. Finally, for the fourth color, use a dark brown above the bottom left color in Valentine's palette. Now, the handsome face recipe is complete. Bob Short's hairstyle requires 25 platinum, Twilight requires 75 platinum, and Smoke also requires 75 platinum. Using other colors may make it cheaper to recreate. This is the Operator Face Recipe Showcase. Thank you very much for watching. I created this video in response to viewers' requests and my personal interest. The Bob Short hairstyle and Smoke color palette felt very useful. Also, a Valentine color palette available only for a limited time with credits seem highly flexible. Getting them should make it easier to create operators and drifters. If you want more videos, please subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Bye.